I knew that the floodgates were open, but I just didn't know that it would be flowing this fast. We got 2 brand new Pokemon. I'm not talking about Zacian and Zamazenta, the 2 legendary pups. This was already supposed to be just a video highlighting their shinies. Also, hi, I'm the Spree Markinines. We're doing shiny speculations today. But after Pokemon Showcase at E3, we got 2 more brand new Pokemon. One of them also being a pup, and arguably it's more legendary than both of them combined. Wow, 2019 is crazy. We got Yamper and Impidimp. He's fine. He's just a little devil. He got wings. Also, obviously, there's no official artwork for these 2 brand new Pokemon yet, so huge shout out to Gingrjoke and Cocoa for sending me theirs. Both replied super quick and helped me get this video out as fast as I did, so huge shout outs to them. Their links will be down below. And as always with any brand new Pokemon, we're gonna go through and talk about all of the potential shinies that I think they could have. 2 being the shinies I think they'll have, 2 being the ones I want them to have. And yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the series. If you are, please give the video a thumbs up. Let me know down below which shinies you think are good, which ones you think suck. And of course, I have to mention it because if I don't, everybody's gonna be commenting about it. Yes, I know about the fact that these games aren't going to harbor every single Pokemon in existence. Am I surprised by it? Not really. We didn't have a National Dex in Sun and Moon, and that was kind of taking us in this direction. In Leaf Green Fire Red, you can even evolve a Zubat into a Crobat without the National Dex. So the idea of having a Pokemon without it having a Dex entry didn't really make too much sense to me. So am I surprised by this? No. Am I happy? Of course not. But I'm also not going to freak out about it until I see all of the Pokemon that are in this Galar Dex. And then of course, we don't know what they're going to do with these raids. I have a really strong feeling that a lot of Pokemon are going to get implemented more and more as time goes on through this raid system. That just makes the most sense to me. Am I still going to love these games? Yes, the games look amazing. This game looks like one of the best Pokemon games we've had in a very long time. But I'm also not going to knock anybody who's making their voice heard, because if we don't tell Game Freak and Pokemon what we want in their games, if we don't vocalize it as a core group, then yeah, they're going to take certain things out. They're going to just do what they want to. And with all of that being said, let's get into this. First up, we got the Pokemon that I am most excited for. Sweet little Yamper, the pup I want to pamper while he sleeps in a little hamper. Wouldn't have been shocked if he had static, but we actually know what its ability is. He plays fetch. He plays fetch. You can't make this up, but actually you can, because they did. It's a Pokemon. It's completely made up. Yamper is now a shiny hunting companion. You throw your Pokeball. If it doesn't catch, he's gonna go fetch it, bring it back to you, but only once, because Yamper gets tired. Here is the first look at the shiny I totally think they're gonna do. Not only does it stay true to its original colors, it also stays true to the fact that it's a dog. There are plenty of brown dogs out there, and we've seen this change of an electric type go from that beige color fur to like a dark brown. That's been done over and over again. Dedenne is a perfect example, and so is Alolan Raichu. Other than that, we changed the accent colors, flipped them around. It keeps that green and the yellow, which are both like iconic colors for this little guy. You can't see it here, but he's got a little heart on his butt. Those are yellow and green too. And then other than that, I gave him a little tangerine tongue. That tongue's gonna be sticking out no matter what, so you might as well use it. Definitely a shiny I could see them doing, and definitely a shiny I would 100% hunt. I think this looks great. Following up on that, listen, I know this is not a shiny I want to see. I think this looks pretty strange. I think it's very out there. This reminds me so much of Slurpuff. It's Neapolitan, that sort of vibe, but I just feel like the shiny is such a slam dunk home run type of thing that they're going to get it wrong. It's one of those shinies that we're all gonna have these expectations for, like, I think it's gonna be blue, and then all of a sudden we see the real thing is, and we're like, oh, y'all went with that. Yamper is so precious, and it's so easy to get right that I just feel like they're gonna screw it up. If somehow this shiny's correct, oh my god, I'm clairvoyant or something. Clairscient. Just call me Claire. Back to reality here with another amazing shiny. This is one I would love to see, and I could also maybe see them doing. The green goes to a white just because, you know, they like to just randomly make things white these days, white or black. That's just something that they love to do. And then the rest is roses and peaches. It's adorable. I think this looks great. I gave it the fur treatment. This is something we've seen in the past. I know that that was an algorithm type shiny, but it definitely looked good there. And I think Yamper might just be another Pokemon that could rock the colors too. After that, we've got another one that I could see them doing. I actually could see them doing this one. This was supposed to be one of my shinies that I would love to see, and I would, but I think they might do this. We're keeping the integrity of the Pokemon. I feel like green and yellow are the calling cards of this Pokemon. Why not keep those the same? Like I said over and over again, Game Freak is really getting into the idea of changing one major color and keeping a lot of accents the same. Now that I'm looking at it, it also fits the same vibe of a normal Vikable. These are, whether you like it or not, electric type Pokemon colors. And if that wasn't convincing enough, even Electrike, the original electric pup, poor thing's getting shown up. Yamper's best in show. What am I supposed to say? Yamper's best in show. But even him back in the day had the blue on. I totally think this could happen, and I would love it if it did. And then real quick, I did one more shiny just because I love purple on electric types. For some reason, purple is just an electric color for me, and I think it works really well with this mint green, teal blue style. For some reason, I was inspired by Perugly here, just a tiny little bit with the purple, and I think it works really good. I think it looks great. Non-conventional, but also not gonna be mad. And just like that, we are on to the next new Pokemon showcase at E3, the angle to his own devil. We got Impidimp, baby. Now, right off the bat, I'm gonna be honest with you, looking at this Pokemon, just like when I saw Zeraora, I'm like, this guy already looks shiny. So it took me a minute to decide what I was gonna do, but then it came pretty easy. As you can see here, the pink goes to a gold. That is like a classic change. We've seen that a million times over. This is a tale as old as time. I mean, really, do I gotta give examples of this at this point? All right, I'll do it. Luvdisc, Lickitung, Shelmet, Munna, Gorobus. The list goes on. The point being, this is a change that happens all the time. So honestly speaking, yeah, I could see it happening again, especially knowing he kind of reminds me of Sableye. Maybe that had a little guidance here. Shiny Sableye goes to like a weird off color like this. Following that, I made the mask a little bit of a darker blue. Honestly, it's just a nice little contrast. Doesn't change too much from either black or purple. It's really hard to tell what color it actually is, but the general consensus in the community is that the mask is purple, so that's what we're going with here. And then the accent red on the ears, I could see it going one of two ways, either going to like a lime green because that's a compliment to the gold, or just shifting a tiny little bit to an orange. Following that, we've got a very classic depiction of a devil here. I'm not so sure that they're bold enough to do something like this, but the guy is clearly based on some sort of devil, and more often they're going like very realistic with their shiny forms, especially with Pokemon like Palisand and things like that, the black sand beaches in Hawaii. It just makes a lot of sense, so I went red for the devil here. Why not? The mask is black, the ears are purple, not too much to say here. Maybe the ears will be a little different. I could see them going like a yellow too, but that might be too spot on. Honestly speaking, this is shiny I would love to see. I'd be totally cool with this. If they did red for the devil, I'm like, okay, Game Freak, whoa, we are getting a little too hot in here. Following that, I'm gonna be very blunt and quick on this one. I could just totally see this Pokemon kind of getting the shaft when it comes to shinies. That would be what this is. Going from a pink to an orange, mask barely changing, the ears going to yellow. It's very safe, it's very easy, it's very cast it aside, move on to the next style. I feel like it encompasses the devil vibes without having to work too hard for it. And honestly speaking, isn't a shiny I'd be too happy with. This is kind of boring, to be honest. If we got an angel Pokemon, it's on this side telling me, oh, don't hunt him, he sucks. And then he's on this side saying, please hunt me, I want to be on the team. And I'm like, no, your shiny's ugly. That's what it boils down to. And then last but not least, the shiny I would love to see, who else but a colorless body going from that pink to drop in all color completely. And then the mask goes to like a darker blue. I love that color. If it goes from purple to that makes a lot of sense because it's not shifting too far on the spectrum, but it definitely looks good and complements the green in the ears. Green is a color that most people hate in shinies. I don't know why. So many people hate Stantler and Ursaring, and I'm just sitting here like, why? I think it looks really good. But that being said, I do think green is better off being used as an accent color, which is why I did that here. This guy's cool. He's not my favorite Pokemon, but if he had a shiny like this one, I'd go ahead and hunt it maybe a couple months after the games came out. Once the dream team's complete, like he ain't on that roster. But other than that, like I'd hunt it. Moving on to the next one. Now we are finally moving on to the legendary Pokemon. We've got the wolf with the freaking sword in his mouth. I love it. I freaking love this Pokemon, and I'm sure I'm gonna love it shiny too, unless I don't. Because they could totally screw the pooch and give us something like Solgaleo again, and that was awful. Oh my god, I got a bad taste in my mouth. I'm gonna be honest and preface this right away. The legendary Pokemon, they kind of do whatever the heck they want with it. It's gonna be very hard to tell what these shinies are gonna be. You could shoot this way and they go all the way over here. You can shoot here and they go way back here. It's really hard to tell with them, so there's not gonna be too much referencing of other Pokemon. It's gonna be a lot of gut feeling and a lot of just, this would look cool. I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't be that shocked if they took the red and blue that we see on both of them and switched them up. If you take these two wolf Pokemon legendaries, put them side by side, you'll see that their color schemes are already kind of flipped. Where it's blue on one, it's red on the other. So it makes sense to me that an easy route to take when it comes to the shinies is just do the same thing, flip-flop it. Very familiar looks when it comes to these Pokemon, but definitely distinct from their original form. Definitely one of the safest routes they could take, but that being said, definitely a route I could totally see them going down, for sure. Following that, we've got a really good looking shiny, but I could still totally see them doing it. I know the original color scheme isn't exactly the same as Xerneas, but this is very loosely based off of his shiny. It's a color scheme we've seen them do with a legendary before. I wouldn't be surprised if they did it again. The blue's change is subtle, but it's big enough to notice, and then we've got a silver and a white over the rest of it. And then with the gold armor, honestly speaking, I don't know why they don't, but this is just one thing they don't like to change. I thought they were gonna change it on Solgaleo too, but they didn't. They just keep the accent armor gold. It's a bummer, but I think they're gonna do that here too. Definitely colors that fit his theme, and definitely colors that look good on his design. I'd be super happy with this. Following up on that one, we've got one of the designs I would love to see. The blue goes to a red, the red goes to a gold, still very regal. The gold goes to like a silver, and I think that makes so much sense. I want them to do that, I really do. These Pokemon are basically our defenders. Well, I mean, this one's probably an attacker, but you know what I'm saying? It's a a knight. He's got a sword. I feel like the shiny should fit that. This color scheme is top notch. I think this looks amazing, and honestly speaking, I would like to see it. And of course, finally, the end all be all shiny I'd love to see. Make no mistake, this is a color scheme I have used time and time again. We go from the gold to a silver. I think that is a great change. I want them to use it. But then the blue fur goes to a very sleek black. I think this looks so intimidating. Definitely fits the Pokemon. And then the red goes to a blue. I think all of these colors combined look incredible. I'm pretty positive as of right now, we don't know what the typings of these Pokemon are yet. It's probably gonna be steel type and then something else. And these are just exactly the colors I would love to see from a steel type shiny. And last but not least, we have this amazing defensive counterpart to the last shiny, a wolf worth fighting for, Zamazenta. Now, because the color schemes of these two legendary Pokemon are very similar to one another, you're gonna see very similar trends with the shinies that I chose for them. That being said, there are gonna be some slight variations, but clearly not with this one. Like I said before with Zacian, it makes a ton of sense for them to just flip-flop the red and the blue. It's way too easy to not do it. I wouldn't be shocked if they did, but I also wouldn't be pleased. Following that, another shiny I could actually see them doing, and it's very unique to this Pokemon alone, is what you see right here on the screen. A trend that we're kind of seeing a lot with shiny Pokemon, especially when it comes to legendary Pokemon, is adding an accent of black or white. I took the red, took it all the way to black, keeping the gold the same, just like I said before. I really feel like that's gonna happen. But then the blue fur or hair, or whatever you'd like to call it, that goes to almost like a purple. A happy medium, if you will, of the red and the blue, and then the overall body just stays the same. But that black change is so drastic enough that it just takes the Pokemon and elevates it to way up here. This thing is absolutely ridiculous. I'd be so pleased if we got a shiny like this one. After that, this is very similar to a color scheme I did on Zacian, but with a little bit of a twist, because not only does it get the white on the armor instead of the black from the previous shiny, but it also gets the black body, and I think that is a true contender for something they could possibly do. Maybe not using these accent colors, I think that might be a bit of a stretch, but making the actual body black, I think is probably something I could see them doing. This is a shiny I would hunt in a heartbeat if they didn't shiny lock it, because Lord knows this thing is not gonna be huntable. But if it was, and it looked like this, I would be first in line to hunt it for sure. And then finally, last but not least, the shiny I would love to see. Oh my freaking gosh, this looks incredible. And honestly speaking, I don't want to jinx it, but this is really not that far-fetched. Feel free to count it, of a shiny. Because honestly, hear me out. The blue shifts just a tiny little bit. The red shifts to more towards a purple, but it's still shifting just a little bit on the spectrum. And then, yes, maybe the gold does change quite a bit, but like I said before, this is definitely a color fit for a knight, and this guy is without a doubt our defender. So what better color scheme to go with than one like this? This is the epitome of regal. This thing looks the most royal I've seen out of all the shinies I picked for him. This is 100% my favorite of the two legendaries that I did, and it's even got the black body underneath. This is a freaking glow up and a half. This thing's absolutely gorgeous. This is the shiny I would love to see, and if they did it, then I'd want some compensation, because they clearly took it from me. All right, guys, that is gonna do it for this edition of my shiny speculations. Once again, if you guys enjoyed this series, please give the video a thumbs up and let me know down below if you guys are excited for these games and what Pokemon I should do next. Spoiler alert, it's going to be the next Pokemon that gets revealed. These videos are a lot of fun for me to make, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying them. Sword and Shield are shaping up to be some of the most gorgeous games I think I've ever seen. Not just Pokemon, just in general. I'm also very optimistic, I realize that. Feel free to have a conversation below about your thoughts and your theories and your worries about these games in the most civilized way. I don't mind you guys talking about it. In fact, I love reading the comments, but I just don't want it to get too heated. But overall, even with everything going on with Pokemon Home and the Pokemon compatible with this game, I'm just really excited. I really am, and I hope you guys are too. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. More videos are coming very soon, but until next time, this is Supreme Arcanine signing out. See you guys later.